Hey guys, it's Bethany, your crafty BFF, and I have got a tutorial for you today. This is going to be for the Year of Cheer collaboration that I have been participating in each month so far this year. And if you haven't been following along, there's a group of ladies, including myself, who are working on our Christmas stash. We are focusing our efforts each month on a different type of project and trying to build our stash so that when Christmas rolls around and we don't have the time we want to be able to craft, we'll have a nice Christmas stash already built up, and we hope that you guys are following along with us. In the month of March, we focused on packaging. During our live streams, we kept it pretty simple and made a bunch of different bag toppers. But for today's hop video, make sure you follow along the hop. Everybody will be posting a project share or tutorial or craft with me type video today for the Year of Cheer. Now, clearly this is not a Christmas project, but today we're going to make it with Christmas paper so that it is Christmassy. But yeah, this is a nice little box you can definitely use all year round. I have a project that I wanted to present really pretty, still show off the project, but have a nice presentation. So I dreamed this box in my sleep last night and woke up just having to make it. So that's what I did. And there are other tutorials out there. I did not invent a box with an acetate lid, of course not. But I did not see any tutorials for this size of a box. This is 6 inches wide by 7 inches tall by 2 inches deep. And yeah, it's a nice little size box. So I recommend using 110-pound cardstock for your box. However, I don't have any 12 by 12 110-pound cardstock, so I used a 65-pound cardstock, and then I made sure to mat the inside and outside to make it nice and sturdy. So I will give you the measurements for the mats when we get to that part, but let's go ahead and get started on this tutorial. So you will need 12 by 12 paper and 12 by 12 acetate to make this project work. This is like just a textured 65-pound cardstock from Hobby Lobby. But like I said, we're going to mat both sides, the inside and outside of the box, to make it nice and sturdy. You need your piece of cardstock to be 10, I'm going to move this out of the way, 10 inches by 11 inches. It doesn't matter where you start. We're going to score at 2 inches on all 4 sides. So 2 inches, turn it, 2 inches, turn it, 2 inches, and one more time, turn it, 2 inches. I'm going to move the scoreboard out of the way, and we are going to fold and crease these score lines. Oh, I do have everything written down here. Let me show you this so that you can write that down or take a screenshot or whatever you want to work at your own pace. And I'll bring this back in, but like we're right here on this step, 10 by 11, and we're scoring at 2 inches on all 4 sides. Varnishing all that down. And then we're just going to do some snippy snips. So get our trusty scissors, and we're just going to cut away the score line. on all four sides, making these little tabs. We're turning these little pieces into tabs. Cut away the score line. And cut away the score line. Okay. Throw away all your little snippy snip pieces. And I'm going to use my hot glue gun for speed, but you can definitely use your preferred method of adhesive, whether that be Barely Arts, you know, wet glue or double-sided tape or whatever floats your boat. Like I said, I'm just using this hot glue for the sake of the video. Doesn't really help if you're running out of said hot glue though, huh? Let me grab a stick. And then our last side here, I'm just putting glue on the tab and lining it up. So we have this nice 6 by 8 by 2 inch deep box. Let's set that aside and let's work on our piece of acetate. So for your acetate, it needs to be 10 1/8 by 11 1/8 inches. So it's just an incy bit bigger than the cardstock that we cut. Just 1/8 of an inch bigger. Sorry for the glare. But we're going to do the same thing. It doesn't matter what side you start on, we're going to score at 2 inches on all four sides. I recommend to press down pretty firmly to get a nice score in your acetate. And we're going to flip it this way, score at 2 inches again. Flip it 2 inches. And flip it 2 inches. Okay, and we can get rid of the scoreboard for good this time. And now, acetate is really fussy to work with, but if you take your time and make sure you have really good lighting to see where you're folding, it'll work out a whole lot better for you. And then once you've got it folded, then take your bone folder and crease it down like so. Like I said, really fussy to work with, but if you have good lighting, this ring light is really helping me right now. And then crease with your fingers, and then crease with your bone folder. So you get a nice stiff crease in your acetate. And do that to all four sides. It would help if I was in frame, huh? Just pinching with my fingers. And then creasing with my bone folder. And we got one more side left. I just want to take my time and make sure that it turns out nice. crease. Okay, now we got all 4 sides creased. We're gonna do the same thing we did to the cardstock. Excuse me, I had to take a drink. We are going to snippy snip the score line up to the crossing score line. So I'm just going to do one cut. All the way up to that crossing score line. I'm going to do it to this side. And then I'm going to turn it on this side. And then right here. Like so. Now, we do have to glue these tabs onto our sides. And if you look closely, you can see I used double-sided tape, and it does show, but nobody's really looking at that. Like, honestly, you could totally just cut out a piece of designer cardstock and cover the edges if you really don't want to see that glue, but it doesn't bother me, so I'm gonna leave it like this. But if you want to cut out a piece of designer series paper or pattern paper or whatever, then you would just cut yourself a piece of 5 7/8 by 1 7/8, and then you can cover the edges of your acetate all the way around. The mats are right here, so it would be 2. If you're doing the acetate lid as well, then you would do an extra one, so it would be 5 7/8 by 1 7/8. You'd want one for the top and one for the bottom, and then if you want to do the sides as well, it would be 6 7/8 by 1 7/8. But I'm not doing that today. I just wanted to point that out. So I'm going to use my double-sided tape here. If I can find the beginning. And I'm just going to put it on each of my tabs. Like so. And then we'll remove the backing and then just line up this tab so that it is nice and straight with the edge, like so. This one is not very straight, so I'm going to trim it. No big deal. And then just continue to do that with all 4 of your tabs. Just line those up and stick them down. Like I said, I'm not worried about the glue showing, but if you are, totally just cover your edges with a plain pattern, a pattern paper or a plain solid color cardstock, and that will cover those right up. Acetate is so, it attracts all the fuzz and the dog hair, but what are you gonna do? Okay, that there is the top of our acetate lid for the top of our box. And as you can see, it goes on pretty easily. But now we're going to mat. Like I said, the bottom of this box is flimsy. It's only 65-pound cardstock, so we are going to mat the inside and outside with pattern paper to give it a nice sturdy base. I chose this pattern paper here for the inside. Ooh, I forgot to turn on airplane mode. Okay. I don't want to mess this video up. So this is actually some pattern paper, digital pattern paper that I printed out from the Mix and a Mingle collection from Simple Stories. And so I have this green piece down here that is 5 7/8 by 6 7/8. And that's just going there on the bottom of my box. Then we have two pieces of 5 let me show you this again. Two pieces of 5 7/8 by 1 7/8. And those are going to go on the top and bottom. Just like that. Just gluing these in. This also covers up the tabs on the inside of the box, so you can't see those tabs. But I'm doing it because it makes it nice and sturdy, and it makes it look even prettier. An even prettier presentation. Okay. Now for the outside, I have this pattern paper, also from Mix and a Mingle from Simple Stories. And this one is 5 7/8 by 6 7/8. And I'm going to put that on the back of the box. The bottom of the box. Now if you wanted to sew your matting pieces and give it an even more, you know, finished look, you could definitely do that before you glue them down. I'm not doing that today. I'm lazy that way. And then our two long sides, so the left and right side, are 6 7/8 by 1 7/8, just like the inside pieces were. Just adding my Barely Arts. Lining that up. Sticking it down. And then our two short sides, again, are 5 7/8 by 1 7/8. Excuse me. This matting portion can be really tedious, but I think it's worth it to have a nice sturdy box for your project that you want to present so nicely. So there we have it, all done. And now we can put our acetate lid on top of our box. You could totally add a ribbon, you know, wrap some ribbon around it to make it look like a present, or just leave it as is so that your project inside is on display. You can also, Sorry, I bumped the tripod. You could also put some shred in there to kind of hide it a little bit if you wanted just, you know, a little bit of it showing. Put some shred in there, and then it's still kind of a surprise, but it looks just phenomenal. So there we have it, guys. That is my short little tutorial for today. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below, and I will get back to you. Make sure you check out the other ladies' YouTube hop videos for today in the year of cheer. They'll have some other packaging ideas for you for your Christmas or everyday stash. Yeah, that'll do it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.